So now it's about who is going to get the best start from the grid. Nikola Tsolov, the pressure rising for the Bulgarian. He really wants to win this one, but he's going to have to work incredibly hard to make it happen. The field is still coming around. I don't think this is going to be a good start as well. We've still got karts in the field. Look. Again, it's a false start, and it's because the back rows of the field are not able to get... Oh, we've had problems at the start. We've had contact before the race has even got going. That's Joe Turney. Joe Turney has been tipped around, as has the 156. Now that is Emily Koivisto, and we've got another kart in trouble as well. So that's the first time we've seen an incident like that, a false start. Joe Turney's had a mechanical problem by the look of it going around. He will not take the start. What a disaster for Joe Turney, and he's not the only one in trouble. Someone else spun there as well. I think it was Martinius Stenshorn. Yeah, Stenshorn's getting going again. So Stenshorn will join up at the back of the field. It looks to me as though Stenshorn and Turney had a problem with each other on the start of the race.
Yeah, it's not very often that you see 3 karts crash out before the race has even started. So the karts are returned to the pit lane. Maybe the drivers have a chance of getting back out on the track like we saw with Nathaniel Tai when he had the issue with his spark plug. They had to replace that, and he managed to get out on track. It managed to finish 19th, so a good drive from him in the OKJ class. But hopefully we go this time round. The drivers slow down, get into their positions, and hopefully we go green this time.
Let's have a look. Are we going to get a good start? This time we do. Let's race. Nikola Tsolov in front of Antonelli straight away through the first corner. No problems at all for Tsolov to lead from the get-go. And as they come through the hairpin on the first lap of asking, it is going to be a very tight battle from the get-go. Third place, Arvid Lindblad. Fourth place now is Norton Andreasen. What a great start from the Swede. Evan Gilter has worked his way forward as well. So there's contact. 5 karts have come together. Tarpanen going over the top of a couple of karts in the background. There's a Praga in trouble. There's a Forza in trouble. And we've had, I think, one of the Holtzems. That's got to be Sandro Holtzem causing problems. There is the Rafael Modenese, the 116, and the 135 in there as well. That is more trouble. That's Ricardo Gracia. So all sorts of disaster around the circuit on the first lap, but not for the race leader. Nikola Tsolov in front of Andrea Kimi Antonelli. So Tsolov leads the way, Antonelli second, but the fight is well and truly on. Lindblad is there in third position, and the battle is raging further back. Someone going off the road at the end of the first lap. That is Sevrukin, I do believe. Yes, Sevrukin has dropped way down the field. The 105 comes through in 13th as Antonelli starts to take on Tsolov already.
Artem Sevrukin has had a horrendous start there for the driver who started in second position. Is there an issue there for the Ward Racing kart, or is it just a bad start? Either way, he will try to make his way back through the field and gain as many positions back as possible. But there you see Arvid Lindblad all over the back and up the inside. He's going to try it. Antonelli dropped down into third, Lindblad into second. Tsolov just pulls away a little bit from that.
So a fabulous start to this race. I was going to say that Kamara would lead the championship if it stayed like this on 73 points. Antonelli on 72, Lindblad on 71. But now Lindblad has got the move on Antonelli. That's going to change again, and I think Lindblad is actually going to take the lead of the Drivers' Championship if it stays like this. Yes, he is. 75 to 74 for Kamara and 68 for Antonelli. So the championship would change hands if it stays like this. Lindblad is fighting to close up on Tsolov, and if he takes the lead, he will take the lead of the European Championship, and Antonelli is not letting him rest on his laurels. It's going to be a very tough fight from here on in as Antonelli tries his best to close back up on Lindblad. Andreasen is right there in P4, Gilter P5, Spina 6, Yugachukwu in 7th place. Kamara is only 8th, but still working his way forward. He has not done yet.
Yeah, definitely not done yet. Antonelli, he has been overtaken by Lindblad, as you said, but he is not going to be caught lacking. Once again, he'll still try and catch on to the back of Lindblad. He'll at least stay in the position that he is, but he will try and catch on to the back of the Kart Republic and make that position back if possible. Nikola Tsolov looking pretty comfortable in the front of the lead, but Lindblad and Antonelli, they're not going to let him run away. They'll try and chase him down to the last moments of the race.
3 Kart Republic chassis in the top 3 places, but from 3 different outfits, if you like, because you've got Tsolov leading for the Alonso Kart race team, the Team out in front, a great performance from Nikola Tsolov, the DPK squad as it's known. Second place, Arvid Lindblad for the KART Republic factory team. And also still part of that, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, but he's running in the Argenti Motorsport colours, a satellite operation within the squad. And there's the fourth one coming through. That's Evan Gilter for VDK Racing. So 4 different colour schemes, all KART Republic chassis in the first 4 places, as Norton Andreasen on his Tony kart for Ward Racing slips into 5th position as a result. Here comes the Paralin of Alfio Spina, P6 behind them as they come off the final hairpin and down the main straight. It is Nikola Tsolov that leads the charge. Arvid Lindblad second, Andrea Kimi Antonelli in P3 from Evan Gilter and Norton Andreasen with Alfio Spina in P6. Yugo Chukwu 7th from Kamara, and then Kucharczyk and Elkin. Sebrukin in 11th place, Zhivnov in 12th from the 13th place kart, Lucas Malek, and Rintaro Sato P14, really struggling to maintain places, the Japanese driver in the field. So Nicolo Kumar, oh, and that's one of the Holtzems. So that is Sandro Holtzem who's gone off there. Now that is up at the first corner, so obviously battling away for position. I wonder if Sandro Holtzem has had happen to him what we've been fearing would happen all weekend. He's gone wheel to wheel with someone in the first corner, caught those marbles and drifted into the wall.
Yeah, that looks to be the case. Those marbles are vicious, especially at such high speeds around the first corner. We've seen quite a few drivers actually be caught out by them over the course of the weekend. Antonelli all over the back of Lindblad now. Lindblad actually dropping off the back of Tsolov. So what's happened here to the KART Republic driver, the Red Bull Junior driver, now under pressure from the Mercedes Junior driver. It's Constructor against Constructor, and Mercedes makes it into the lead of this battle. Antonelli up in the second, Lindblad down into third. Very late move there from Antonelli. Promotes himself into second and will now chase down the back of Nikola Tsolov.
Well, there was a yellow flag in turn 1 for Sandro Holtzem's car, and Lindblad almost hesitated, I guess, on the way through to the corner, and as a result, Antonelli just stood on it. I think Lindblad was caught out there, so Antonelli's able to get through into position. We've got 2 of the senior Paralin karts battling away for position in the field. I think that's James Wharton and Brando Badoa battling away for position. No team orders, of course, in the world of karting. They can squabble as much as they like, as long as they don't take each other off the road. But Nikola Tsolov is extending his lead out in front. The Bulgarian Lion doing a fine job out front. No concerns, no problems for him at this present moment in time. Antonelli second, Lindblad third, Evan Gilter doing a fabulous job in 4th position at the moment. So this is really good work. But with Antonelli getting up into second past Lindblad, he now takes the lead of the European Championship. 72 points to Lindblad, 71, with Kamara now down the order. He's down to 14th, Rafael Chavez Kamara, and that drops him to 67 points.
Yeah, Kamara can't afford to lose any more positions in this race. But we have a look back through the field, defending up into the top. Oh, that's off. Zhivnov's
and
off.
We've also got the 133. That is Lukáš Malek. So Malek and Zhivnov have come together there. Not good news, and are they the only 2? I think they are, but certainly a big incident to end Zhivnov and Malek's day. What a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame to lose those 2 drivers like that. Zhivnov, he was having an okay day.
Kamara's pitting. Sorry, Kamara's pitting. Kamara's out of the race. Kamara drives straight into the pit lane, and Rafael Chavez Kamara peels off. He's out, and he looked absolutely enraged. So Rafael Chavez Kamara, the championship leader, it's unsighted by the cameras because he did it so quickly, but Rafael Chavez Kamara has peeled off into the pits, out of the race. The championship leader coming into this weekend is out.
Yep, that means that he's going to drop down the order massively now in terms of the championship fight. Oh, who's that who's had an issue there?
It's Malek trying to get started again, and he's not able to make it work, so Malek is going to have to park it, and what a shame. So the yellow flags are out there on that second sector. What a crazy race this is. We've had all sorts of drama, and they're dropping like flies here. We've lost Koivisto, Modenese, Turney, Holtzem, Kamara, Malek, Zhivnov. This is such a tough race. 29 laps left in it. 29 karts left in it even, and there are 12 to go. So we're not even at half distance yet as Yugo Chukwu lines up Andreasen for P5. There's still a long way to go in this motor race.
Yeah, there is still a long way to go for these drivers. Antonelli picks up the fastest lap. 54.956 has been set by the Italian driver on home soil. He'll be looking to win this round, and it'll mean something extra special to him if he's able to do so. But Nikola Solov looking very, very strong out in front as he just manages to fend off the drivers behind. Antonelli, though, look, he's closing down that gap.
This is such a tough battle now because Solov is still there in front of Antonelli, but Antonelli is now really starting to generate that race pace. Now that he's got past Lindblad, he can start to really maximize the KART Republic chassis. And it's going to be a very interesting race from here on out. Solov, Antonelli, the gap is only half a second now. Andreasen trying to get away from Yugachukwu. Severukin is there in P7, Alfio Spina in 8th place, Kucharczyk 9th, Elkin 10th, and Rintaro Sato 11th in front of Christian Bertucca from Giovanni Trentin and Luigi Coluccio. Matthias Morgato P15 at the moment from Wharton, and then it is Badua in front of Valtonen. So a great fight back from this race from Juho Valtonen as well, being able to get himself into a relatively competitive position as a result of his difficulties on the start initially. But Antonelli is 6/10 away from Solov. Solov knows he now needs to really push in some fast laps and try and stretch out the gap to Antonelli. Even a few tenths of a second up the line will be enough. The only lap that's important to lead is the last one. But Solov has got Antonelli breathing down his neck, and Antonelli isn't going to let him rest easy for a split second.
No, Antonelli not going to let Solov win this one by any means necessary. We'll see. Antonelli can see visually how much he's gaining on the Fernando Alonso kart ahead of him. The 1-2-1 will surely soon be victim to the Argenti KART Republic behind him. The Mercedes junior driver doing a blistering great job doing a great job out there right now.
I'll tell you what, Solov is working so hard to get away from Antonelli, but the Italian stallion really pushing the Bulgarian lion now, as out in front Solov is just doing his best to chip away, but Antonelli clearly has more pace at this point in the race. Now, what does Antonelli do? Does he overtake and stretch away, or does he look after the kart, sat behind Solov, make him do all the hard work, look after his tyres and engine, and then strike when the iron's hot? Across the line, less than a quarter of a second between them. Through the first turn, Antonelli's still pretty rapid as they come through one more time. Down to the brakies over the hairpin, and Solov very nearly loses it all, and Antonelli giving him plenty of pressure. Solov just getting a tiny bit wide through turn 2. That was nearly the door open right there.
Yep, Antonelli sticks the nose of the car in there on Nikola Solov. Solov just about fends him off. For now, though, as Antonelli will be looking for an overtake as soon as possible. Lindblad, you can see in the background there, 1.5 seconds behind these two drivers. But if they start to battle, can the Red Bull Junior driver be brought into the occasion? Well,
Lindblad is right there in 3rd place. He's not far away. The battle for 4th is an absolute country mile away from this squabble. We've got Gilter in P4, then Andreasen, Yugachukwu, Severukin, Spina, Kucharczyk and Elkin in the top 10. The final point scorers are likely to be Sato, Bertucca, Coluccio, Trentin and Morgato. What a fight back from Bertucca and Coluccio. 11 places and 14 places made up respectfully. Here's the move on the inside. Antonelli takes the lead away from Nikola Solov. Never ever underestimate Andrea Kimi Antonelli. He knows just when to strike and fight back. And now he's not just looking at a win on home soil. He's also looking at the lead of the European Championship.
Yep, Antonelli makes his way into the lead of the race. Amazing move there to make his way past the dominant Nikola Solov from today. But he's not so dominant in this final anymore, which Antonelli proves by a brilliant overtake to put himself into the lead of the race. 8 laps remaining. Can he hold on to it?
We've had another retirement, I'm afraid. I can't see where she's pulled off, but Victoria Blokina's fantastic weekend has now come to a spluttering halt. What a shame. She was one of the stars of the weekend in the OK category, but it just hasn't been today. Hopefully next time at Suera, 2 weeks from now in Spain, she will get her chance. Andreasen is now down behind not just Gilter, but also Yugachukwu and Severukin. So they both managed to get through on that last lap. Antonelli in front of Solov, Lindblad in 3rd position, Gilter, Yugachukwu, Severukin and Andreasen. That's the battle for 4th place, and they are running in a quartet at the moment as they go down the back straight. Antonelli stretching away from Solov. I think this battle's won. Let's look back and see the guys in 4th, 5th, 6th. Here they are, and it's very close indeed between them. So Gilter, Yugachukwu, Severukin, Andreasen. A very nice little quartet there battling away for position. Antonelli still trying to stretch away from Solov, but Solov is not letting him dominate.
Yep, Solov is not gonna let Antonelli run away with this one, as he just about keeps him in range, and that's off the inside. That's Artem Savrukin, makes his way past Uguchukwu as they make their way around the final corner and onto the straight now. Savrukin definitely didn't have the best start, but he's made his way back up into 5th. Antonelli, though, just slowly pulling away from Solov, but not as quick as we would expect, as there's one car into pit lane that's won the Cosmics.
It's Coluccio. I can't believe it. It's yet another disappointing result for Coluccio after what has been a very impressive fight back. I think he's had an incident out there with Timo Kucharczyk. Yes, he has. Kucharczyk is walking away. Kucharczyk is out of his kart now and walking away from the sea. There it is. You can just about see it in the distance there on the screen, but Kucharczyk has had to walk away from his kart now, and the pole is absolutely distraught. So Timo Kucharczyk, he must have had a clash with Coluccio. Well, at least they've had an incident similar parts of the circuit. Here's the move. Savrukin gets past Gilter. Back into P4 now for Savrukin. So that cements his position P4 in the championship as well as P4 in the race. And that also gives him a few more points. He's now on 51 compared to the man ahead of him in the standings, Kamara, on 65. Lindblad, who is 3rd place, has 71. And the race leader, Antonelli, is now looking at 77. And he's got the fastest lap too. Antonelli is going to take this out for Italy.
Yep, Antonelli is going to run this out to the end. Half a second is the gap back to Solov, and that fastest lap there just secures that. 54.841 was set by Kimi Antonelli last time round. He's doing a great job out there on the track. He made his way through into the lead, and now he's just trying to pull a little bit of breathing room to get himself that win with a clear advantage.
There's an awful lot of Italians and English people tonight who are going to watch a certain football match. Oh, the irony. We had an English winner in the junior. We're looking at an Italian winner in the senior. An absolutely incredible battle out on the circuit this weekend from Nicola Solov, but he just can't handle the pressure that Antonelli keeps dialing into every apex. Lindblad is there in P3. We're watching the battle for 4th position, because there is the tight battle a little further back. This is Sato versus Spina. Ritaro Sato has got through, had taken the place. We've had someone nearly fly off the road there on the exit of turn 1. I think they just kicked up the dust. No major incident, but a very tight battle. This has been such an exciting OK final, and we've still got 4 laps left of it. I think we're still going to get a pretty exciting battle from 4th position downwards. Savrukin, Uguchukwu, Gilter, Andreasen are still having a nice little tussle for 4th place. Here's Antonelli out of the final turn, and he will have 3 to go this time.
Yep, and if you look backwards, Sato has a little bit of pressure from Spina behind as they make their way onto the straight. You can see the Ricky Flynn Motorsport car just in the background, and then you see Alfie Spina just keeping pressure on the driver ahead of him as they make their way up into turn 2 now. Spina not about close enough to make an overtake, but Willie in the closing laps. 0.8
of a second between Antonelli and Solov, and it looks as though it could stay that way. I'm not entirely sure the Bulgarian's got anything left. He's worked so hard this weekend. In the sprint races, he's been absolutely monstrous, and he could charge away, take names, take prisoners, and get himself a decent advantage. But in these long finals, Antonelli is still the man with the plan. He plays the long game. He doesn't just go ugly early and storm his way to the lead. He takes his time. He picks them off one by one and waits for his opportune moment. He didn't get Solov straight away. He decided to hang back a couple of laps just to see what the 2 karts were going to do in comparison to each other. Then he made his play. Dino Chiesa is going to be very happy with his lot, though, isn't he? 3 Kart Republic chassis, essentially, in the 3 podium positions. It's going to be a clean sweep, and that is an absolutely fantastic result. Arvid Lindblad, so smooth and so stylish this weekend. He hasn't looked spectacular all weekend long, but you know what he has done? He's put himself just 6 points behind Antonelli in the championship fight going into the season finale at Zuera. If he gets that right, he could still win the whole thing.
Yep, 6 points behind is not far. This is really going to go down to the wire. In the championship, Artem Savrukin picks up that fastest lap, but Lindblad 6 points behind going into the final round. He still has a chance.
So now the drivers are going to come through. It is Antonelli, Solov and Lindblad who are going to be on the podium, barring any difficulties or woes. But we said that about the junior final. We said it was all done and dusted, and then it turned out not to be. Antonelli, though, has a much more increased advantage over Solov. 1.3 seconds, and the Italian stallion is doing an absolutely fantastic job out in front on home soil. This is a wonderful, wonderful day. He has fought back valiantly. He didn't win every heat, but then he didn't need to. He just needed to keep himself in that top 5 throughout and display great courage of character and wisdom of forethought, and he's been able to do that every single race. He's never really been in the war zones. He stayed in that top 3. He banked 3rd position for the final as Nicolo Kuman gets a brilliant fastest lap down in 19th. But Andrea Kimi Antonelli will come through, and this is going to be a fairy tale for him. He is about to take his 2nd win in a row when he could become back-to-back European champion 2 weeks from now in Zuera. We'll find out then, but for now, celebrate in style. Kimi Antonelli wins in Italy.
Amazing drive there from Antonelli to win on his home turf. That will mean something extra special there to the Italian driver as he crosses the line first. You can see he's so happy with the result after a long weekend. An amazing drive. He deserves this.
Last year he was on the podium in the final in the European Championship. He couldn't quite get the victory and the heat got the better of him. This year he is victorious, and it means so much after the destitution at the end of 2020 when he was in a hospital bed recovering from a broken leg. He was a little concerned, he was a little upset, he needed to bounce back. This is how you do it. Kimi Antonelli, victorious in Sarno. It's meant to be.
Yeah, it clearly is. You can see Nikola Solov. We saw them fist bump on their way round. Solov offering his commendation, to the winner, and arm in the air. Antonelli so happy with the result. Kicking up the grass a little bit on his way in, maybe a salutary bit of dust.
Kimi Antonelli is your winner from Nikola Solov and Arvid Lindblad. Artem Sevryukin in front of Yuga Chukwu, Evan Gilter in front of Norton Andreasen, then Rintaro Sato, Alfio Spina and Ariel Elkin. The final point scorers are Christian Bertuca, Matthias Morgato, Giovanni Trentin, although he's not eligible for points, James Wharton, Ivan Dominguez and Brando Badoa. Caspian Hagman and Martinius Stenshorn fights back to 18th, then Nicolo Kuman, Juho Valtonen, Marlon Hernandez, Bruno Del Pino, Tuka Tarpanen climbs up to 23rd from Nathan Sharp, Michael Paparo and Ricardo Gracia. The retirements were many and plentiful. Luigi Coluccio, Timo Kucharczyk, Victoria Blokina, Rafael Kamara. The championship leader now falls to 3rd in the standings. Andrei Zhivnov, Lukas Malek and Sandro Holzem. And then, of course, the 3 drivers we lost before the start. Joe Turney, Rafael Modenese and Emili Koivisto. A very tough race for some. But for our winner, Kimi Antonelli, it's nearly party time.
Yeah, that was an amazing race throughout the whole field. Antonelli just kept his head, made his way to the front, and then once he was in that top position, he just kept going. He kept going forwards. He didn't lift off at one point in the race, and he shows us how to pull a gap after making your way through the field.
So over to the podium we will descend now as the 3 drivers waiting in position will have a wonderful celebration. The Brit, the Bulgarian, and on the top step, the Italian. European Championship in the OK Senior category. In 3rd position for the United Kingdom, Arvid Lindblad. A great result for the KART Republic youngster, and he now moves to the 2nd in the Drivers' Championship once again, heading to the season finale. In 2nd position for Bulgaria, Nikola Solov. A fabulous result for Nikola Solov. What a weekend, and this is hopefully the first of many for him. But your winner on the top step of the podium for Italy, Andrea Kimi Antonelli! And we welcome onto this podium the winning team manager for KART Republic, Dino Chiesa! It's a fabulous day for the KART Republic squad and for the race winner. And in a lovely gesture, we will ask the national band of the city of Sarno to play the national anthem for our winning driver from Italy.